what's up guys, this is Joey from The Goo, and this is the video review for Fallout 3.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
But I do, because that just sounds like an awesome thing to do, right? Set the world on fire. Things burn. Burning is pretty. There's lots of lights. Lights are nice. So let's get one thing straight. Fallout 3 is probably one of my most highly anticipated games this year. That's because there's crying babies in it, like this crying baby, who I guess is me, and also because it's from Bethesda, who is one of my favorite PC developers, and also because it's Fallout 3, which insinuates that it's a sequel to Fallout 2, which is also one of my favorite games of all time. But I also thought Sewer Shark was amazing, so take that with a grain of salt. Now I have to admit, when I first heard the announcement that Bethesda was going to be working on Fallout 3, I was a little torn, because Bethesda is one of my favorite PC developers. However, Fallout 1 and 2 were really known for their stories and their depth of character, and something Bethesda hasn't really been great at has been that very aspect of their games. Oblivion, Morrowind, huge open worlds, really awesome to run around and drive horses, because driving horses is fun, and they have steering wheels apparently. Yeah. But beyond that, there just wasn't a lot of substance. Fallout 3 is different in that it does offer that substance. The single player experience is a lot more in depth, a lot more involving than many of the Elder Scrolls games. From the very start, there's a bigger focus on character relationships, like the one you have with your dad here, who seems nice. He's warming and inviting. Look at that smile. He looks just like me, which is important too, because it means like mom wasn't messing around. It's also important to note something you can see right here in the very beginning of the game, that Fallout 3 has an impressive graphics engine. It runs off of a similar engine as Oblivion. Actually, it's probably the same engine, just tweaked a little bit. But right from the start, you'll notice the draw distance is outstanding. You can see all the way in the distance birds that are flying away from BB guns that I might be shooting at them, might not, who knows. And what you see in the distance, you can ultimately go to. I mean, the size and scope of Oblivion was massive, and Fallout 3 is a little smaller, but it just feels bigger because everything's so much more dense. Granted, it's a wasteland, but what I mean dense is, I mean there's not a lot of wasted space. Okay, that's confusing, I know. Wasteland without wasted space. There's just a ton of stuff to do and see, places to go, people to visit, lots of little townships and cities spread throughout, and there are some big cities, some big areas you can go to as well, and those are equally as impressive as the entire world. There's one particular place that I don't want to ruin for anybody that hasn't played the game yet, but you find this Amazonian woman. So not only did the human race survive, but the Amazonians did as well, which is nice. It means, more diversity, for parties. And while it's well and good that you get these people to help you out throughout the game, followers, companions if you will, most of the game you're going to play it alone, and the battle system is okay, but it's a mixture between traditional FPS styled controls and a VATS system, which stands for and so that's really the best way to play the game. Unfortunately, you run out of AP or action points pretty quickly, so you have to bounce back and forth between the two different styles. There's some strategy involved. You can choose different body parts to hit, but you should be aiming for the head at all times, so I'm really not sure why you would want to pick up foot, for instance. Maybe disable the guy so he can't dance. And here comes one of my favorite perks, the Bloody Mess. Now, we talked a little earlier about choices and things that you can do to change your gameplay experience. Some of these are apparent, some aren't so apparent, but there's definitely that kind of Oblivion-esque way of choosing how to get a hold of something. Do you want to kill a guy, take a sword, or wrestle him on the ground in oil, maybe some mud? You could shoot the guy in the head, for instance. Or maybe he'll promise to give you a sword if you go kiss his sister, who happens to be really moly and ugly. One thing you'll do a lot in Fallout 3 is die. You die quite a bit. Health packs and different health items are really few and far between. and it's sort of difficult to keep them because you use them quite a bit. Because apparently, in post-apocalyptic society, people don't like each other. They're not really friends. Not like right now, when everyone's really peaceful and happy and nice. Overall, I'd definitely say Fallout 3, for me, lived up to the hype. It did a good job of bringing the Fallout universe to the 3D space. There's definitely some things that they could have done better. Like a futuristic vampire rave would have been nice. In the end, you'll probably spend a good 20 or 30 hours getting through the main quest. Side quests, maybe 40 or 50. There's quite a few interesting ones too along the way, so you might want to pick them up and give them a shot, even if it takes you a little while longer to get through the actual game. And they're definitely fun, so there's no loss of enjoyment. So, thanks for watching. This was Joey from The Goo. That's THEGUE.com. Come check us out if you want some news, reviews, and previews, or if you like cowboys. Whatever.